Greece. What can I say? You scared me there for a little with the whole expensive in the summer thing, but after spending 1 month here, all I can say is money well spent. This country is full of fascinating history, islands that will change your life, and kind locals that will gift you pretty much everything they own. Every single island here is totally different and most will surprise you. Even though we haven't even scratched the surface, it's time to reveal our top 10 places to visit in Greece. Let's get it started with number 10, Athens.
Everyone can agree that Athens is an interesting city blessed with a rich cultural and historical past. Being the birthplace of democracy, the oldest capital in Europe, and home to the most theatrical stages in the world, it's no surprise that it has millions of visitors every year. Athens was named after the goddess Athena, daughter of Zeus. Legend has it that she created the olive tree, which, come on now, how cool is that? Greeks love their olives, and so do I. Thanks, Athena. Acropolis is the highest point of Athens and is an extraordinary complex of temples where Athenians could worship their gods. And of course, the thing people come all over the world to see, the Parthenon. The Parthenon was the greatest temple of its age, a wonder of the ancient world. I'm not going to go into detail about it, but if you ever get the chance, Google how the Parthenon was built, because it's a miracle that all this marble was hand-carved and carried up to the highest point in the city almost 2,500 years ago. Of course, there is so much more to Athens than just Acropolis. Definitely check out the Panathenaic Stadium, the Temple of Zeus, and so many other ancient artifacts that will blow your mind. Coming up, number 9, Meteora.
Often called the Miracle of Greece. It was a filming location for a James Bond movie and inspiration for Vale of Arryn in the Game of Thrones series. Meteora is like no other place on Earth. As early as the 11th century, Eastern Orthodox monks would seek isolation high above in the clouds on top of these gigantic sandstone pillars. Back then, the only way you could get up was by taking the daring ride in a basket pulled by ropes 1,300 feet up. As the Byzantine Empire was slowly falling to the Ottomans in the 14th century, the monks banded together to create more than 24 monasteries on these unreachable pinnacles. Here, they could truly devote their lives to prayer and live in peace as close to heaven as possible. It took decades to haul up the building material, and legend has it for one of the monasteries, it took 22 years to pull up the material and only 22 days to finish construction. Out of those 24 monasteries built, only 6 are still in operation because the Nazis bombed this area during World War II. Fun fact though, there's a total of 60 nuns and monks still living and practicing here. Although it was almost impossible to get up these vertical walls thousands of years ago, today you could either take a taxi to the top or hike up the stairs while surrounding yourself with the most captivating views. Best way to get here is by taking the train from Athens, or if you have extra cash and some friends, you could rent a car and drive the 4.5 hours up north. Although we didn't get to visit Meteora, it is on the top of our list when we get back to Greece. Next up is number 8, Fyri Plaka and Sea Grotto Beach.
To say that Milos is beautiful is an understatement. This volcanic island is full of stunning beaches, charming towns, and adventures around every corner. There are endless, pristine beaches on this island, and we didn't get to see all of them, but we've heard that some of the best ones are only accessible by boat. Just wanted to quickly recommend looking into boat tours because we didn't book one in time and definitely missed out. But nonetheless, let's talk about one of our favorite beaches in Greece, Fyri Plaka. Fyri Plaka is a long stretch of beach with silver sand and huge colored rocks forming its coastline. The waters in Fyri Plaka are very exotic with a deep bluish-green hue. It's always so hard to describe the color of the water because how many times can we say it's the bluest water we've ever seen? But really, Fyri Plaka is on our top 3 list of bluest, clearest water that we've seen while traveling. We touched down on a nice-sized rock that we could jump off of, and this was probably one of our favorite things to do here. Afterwards, we made our way to the Silver Sand Beach, where there was a crowd of people sunbathing and enjoying drinks from the little tiki bar. And while you're over here, right across the street is a beach called Sea Grotto. Sea Grotto is known for its challenging trek down to the water. It has this epic, huge ladder that you have to climb, but to be honest, the beach and the water aren't that nice. There's loads of debris floating in the sea, so I didn't enjoy swimming here that much. The main reason to visit is solely to see that big ladder. Otherwise, I wouldn't make it a top priority on your to-do list. Coming up next, number 7, Shipwreck Viewpoint. point.
Welcome to the most iconic beach in Greece and probably the world. Located on the diverse island of Zakynthos, this shipwreck is something out of a Pirates of the Caribbean movie. The cove, surrounded by towering limestone cliffs and electric blue water, is only accessible by boat. We decided to skip the boat tour, especially because the more affordable tours are packed with tourists and the beach gets super crowded during summer months. Instead, we decided to rent motorbikes with our friends for $24 and take the 1-hour ride to the viewing area at sunset. When you arrive, we suggest going directly to the trail towards the cliffside, even though that doesn't sound too smart. I'm telling you right now, being there in person, walking close to the edge was one of the most thrilling experiences of my life, and I don't really recommend bringing kids along. Also, I know I'm going to be your parent real quick, but please do not get too close to the edge because some people have lost their balance and have sadly fallen off. The views you get from above are just unbelievable, and if you're into taking pictures, there is no better spot. Something that makes this location even more epic is that it's becoming a hot spot for base jumping and skydiving. But wait, how did the shipwreck even get there in the first place? Well, in the 80s, a Turkish ship apparently smuggling cigarettes was intercepted by the Greek Navy and chased into the cove during a bad storm. That's why another cool nickname for this beach is Smuggler's Cove. As you keep moving through the video, I have a feeling this beach and Zakynthos will become your next go-to spot in Greece. Now on to number 6, cliff jumping in Santorini.
If you're looking for something fun to do in Santorini that's free, what? That's right, I said free. This secret cliff jump was actually one of my favorite things to do in all of Santorini. What made it so special was the hike down. From our hotel in Ia, it took about 20 minutes to reach the bottom to Amudi Bay. The route there is breathtaking. You'll stroll through the most incredible whitewashed buildings, cobblestone roads, and blue dome churches. Once you reach the point where you need to descend, you'll come across plenty of donkeys. I feel like this is the Greece I'd seen in the movies. We didn't take a donkey ride because we felt bad for the little guys. After descending, you will reach the shore and come across a few seafood restaurants with outdoor seating. If you haven't had lunch yet, maybe you can stop here before you head to the cliff jump, or maybe come back for dinner. You'll have to walk through all the restaurants and a little bit further to finally reach the spot where you can swim. Swim out to the standalone rock and start jumping! It's a quick and easy swim over. The cliff jump was so much fun and it had a fascinating view of Ia. I really think you guys are going to love it. We jumped for about an hour, but let me tell you a secret. The floor of the miraculous rock killed our feet.
This is the worst part. Walking up here, it's like you're walking on nails or glass the whole time.
If you wear some sort of shoe, you will be able to enjoy it way more and jump for way longer. Interrupting this video real quick to introduce our sponsor, Cali Case. Whether we're traveling in our van across the United States or around the world, Cali Case is our right-hand man. It's an underwater phone case that also floats. And I like to talk about Instagram, especially because I'm always posting stories on Insta and I post them right from my phone. People are constantly asking me, how do you get those underwater shots? Like, what camera are you using? The truth is, it's just my iPhone 12 Pro Max and a Cali case. Ian likes to call it a $24 GoPro. So if you're interested in one, you can use the code THEOTHERSIDE for 20% off at checkout. Let us know how you like it in the comments below, but let's get back to Greece. Next, we have number 5, bum out on a Greek island.
The remote island in Greece where people forget to die. Yep, you heard that right. 1 in 3 people on Ikaria live to be over 90 years old without dementia, cancer, and other illnesses you see so often. This island is also one of the 5 blue zones in the entire world where the oldest and healthiest people live. The one thing we noticed right away was how empty this place was, especially on our bus ride up to our mountain village. With only a population of 10,000 and barely any tourists, we could just tell we stumbled upon something special. It wasn't just the raw, untouched beauty we fell in love with, but rather a whole vibe to the island that instantly made us slow down and live in the moment. If you're looking to be a hippie, beach bum, or want to live longer, then this is the island for you. But why are people on this tiny remote island happier and older than most? Science has established that genetics are only 25% of the puzzle in living longer. So what's the other 75? Well, we were in search of that answer and got the amazing opportunity to interview one of the oldest men on Ikaria, 98-year-old Vangelis.
What are the secrets to living a long life?
Yeah, what is his opinion on living a long life?
Τα παιδιά ρωτάνε, κατά την άποψή σας, ποιος είναι ο λόγος που φτάσατε αυτή την ηλικία και είσαστε μια χαρά?
Αυτό που προσπαθώ, να μην έχω άγχος και να ζω στη φύση έξω, να αναπνέω καθαρό αέρα, να μιλώ με τα δέντρα κλπ, με τα ζωάκια. Αυτό μ' άρεσε εμένα και ίσως αυτό βοήθησε. Ο παππούς του Βαγγέλη πήγε 99% πήγε.
Τώρα, εσείς πώς το βλέπετε, φοβόσαστε λίγο το τέλος?
Πιστεύω στο Θεό. Το θάνατο τον περιμένω έτσι φυσιολογικά, χωρίς διαμαρτυρίες, αφού έτσι είναι νομοτέλεια.
Alright, we can't just ignore the fact that this man is walking upstairs, preparing food, making his own wine, and has the energy of a 20-year-old. I mean, come on, there has to be something in the water. After spending 7 days on the island, Icarians revealed to us their 8 secrets to living longer, and it all has to do with your lifestyle and mindset. If you're ever having a bad day, confused about life, or just want to live healthier, you can watch our whole video on this amazing island, and it may just change your life. I think a link will pop up above right now, or you can just watch it after you finish this video. Now it's time for number 4, Seychelles Beach.
And sure enough, the remote island of Ikaria that Ian just talked about has one of the most unique beaches in all of Greece, Seychelles Beach. It's named after the country of Seychelles, which is a group of islands off the coast of East Africa. This country is known for its jaw-dropping beaches that have these massive gray granite rocks. You can find rocks that look just like it at this hidden oasis in Ikaria. But as always, the most wonderful things are the hardest to get to. We stayed in the village of Christos Thraxam while we were in Ikaria, and it took us an hour to get to Seychelles Beach by motorbike. This ride was so special because it was the first time we felt like we were on an uninhabited island in Greece. Once you arrive, you can hike down, and it's really not too challenging, but we definitely recommend bringing a good pair of shoes because we wore flip-flops and immediately regretted it. Forewarning that the beach does not have sand, so it can be a bit uncomfortable to lay out at. The shore is full of rocks, but fun fact, that's why the water is as clear as it is, because there isn't a bunch of sand floating around to make it murky. Other than relaxing, this is another great spot to cliff jump. I mean, come on now, what spot isn't great to cliff jump at Greece? There's just endless opportunities. Enjoy a full day at Seychelles Beach filled with swimming, drinks, and adventures. Now on to number 3, Sarakaniko.
This beach on the exotic island of Milos is a game changer, and it's as if the moon in Greece had a baby. The contrast between the bone-white rock formations and the turquoise water is just mind-boggling. We decided to come here 2 different times during the day, first for sunrise without the crowds, and then midday for our all-time favorite travel adventure, cliff jumping. Now, we've cliff jumped around the world, and to be honest, there's nothing quite like Sarakaniko. What we loved about this area is that it's just untouched beauty without resorts or eyesores. Having the different heights for cliff jumping is fun for everybody. The yachts and boats parked right off the coast make for such an epic backdrop, and there's even cave systems where you can explore underground. Some things to keep in mind about this place is firstly, there's nothing around, so be sure to bring plenty of water, food, and most importantly, some booze. Secondly, I wouldn't really consider Sarakaniko a beach at all because most of it's rock and there's only a small sliver of sand. Thirdly, there's little to no shade anywhere, so we just kept lathering up with sunscreen and hiding under our towels or in the caves. And lastly, the water was absolutely gorgeous, but there's quite a bit of plastic and trash around. I've been hearing this from a lot of people, and the coolest thing you can do nowadays is leave a place better than you found it. I promise you guys, picking up a little trash as you're enjoying these unforgettable locations isn't too hard. After spending a full day here, we highly recommend heading to the small capital of Plaka. I swear the cobblestone streets and whitewashed buildings truly rival those of Santorini, and the sunset from up here is just remarkable. Now coming in at number 2, Ia and Parisa Beach.
Perhaps the most famous spot of all the Greek islands. You've seen this fairy tale destination online, on TV, and my grandparents even had a picture of it hanging on their wall. That's how known this place is. If you're wondering if it's worth it, definitely check out our video on Santorini. We say yes, it's worth it, but we have to be transparent and say that Ian and I may be biased because after 6 years of dating, this is where Ian got down on one knee and asked me to marry him. Ia is a perfect place for love as it's extremely romantic. It's known that one of the best things to do in Ia is just chill at your hotel. It is one of the few places on Earth where cave houses and architectures are saved on volcanic soil, so it's pretty dang cool. I've linked the hotel we stayed at below, and I know what you're thinking, yes, it's expensive, but the value is through the roof, and for some of you this is a once-in-a-lifetime thing, so just don't hold back. Our favorite place to eat, which was actually pretty affordable and a quick bite, was Pito Gyros. Best gyros in all of Greece. They also had great vegetarian options for all you non-meat eaters out there. As I'm sure you know, Ia is most well known for its incredible sunsets. I mean, it's really stunning, but of course, way too crowded. We actually preferred walking the streets of Ia at sunrise. Literally no one was up and we had the whole place to ourselves. We recommend visiting Ia for 3 to 4 days and then heading to Parisa Beach. Parisa is a great spot to chill on Santorini with a black sand beach, and it's way more budget friendly. We found an Airbnb in that area for $60 a night right next to the beach. If it's not in your budget to stay in Ia, you can always stay in Parisa Beach and rent a car or take the bus to explore other parts of Santorini. And finally, number 1, rent a boat in Zakynthos.
When you're traveling, there is nothing better than an experience that's worth every last penny. It's the adventure that you recommend over and over again to anyone heading to that country. After beating out 9 other places on our top 10 list, you know we aren't messing around when we say that renting a boat on the unbelievable island of Zakynthos is the best thing you could do in Greece. We rented the boat with our friends Amanda and Austin at Kerry Harbor, which is located on the south of the island. There are tons of rental companies to choose from, but our friends found one that charged only $118 for 4 hours, which included gas. Funny thing is, we ended up extending it and spent 9 hours in the boat, which cost a total of $165 or $40 per person, which is absolutely insane. What makes it even better is that you don't need a boating license, and the reason for that is because the boat only goes around 6 miles per hour. Sailing next to these gigantic limestone cliffs was just astonishing. All day we got to explore the coastline, and when we saw something cool, all we had to do was toss in the anchor and jump in. We explored caves, swam for hours, partied on the boat, and had the time of our life hanging with our new friends. Having the total freedom to go wherever we wanted had its ups and downs, as you could see when the waves started picking up and tossing us around a little. Just make sure that it's not too rough out because that could end really bad for everybody. All I have to say is renting this boat will go down as one of our favorite travel memories of all time, and we owe it all to Greece.
Alright guys, that's a wrap. We really hope you enjoyed this video and got some value out of it. Have the best time visiting Greece, eat some feta, hang out with friends on a boat, go cliff jumping, swim, everything. Sending you guys good vibes. Don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and comment down below what you thought. See you in the next one. Whoop whoop!